So what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is a system of right living and right thinking and right being in the world. It allows us to really optimize our psychology and our physiology and also look at our consciousness in order to awaken that pure, vibrant state of consciousness so that we can actually focus on the goals of life, so we can actually focus on the values that we hold most sacred. What's very unique and beautiful and what has attracted me about Ayurveda is that it treats the whole person. So instead of seeing somebody as their emotional state or as their physiological condition and isolating that as if it's separate from the rest of their being, it treats the whole person, which means what is their mental state? What is their emotional state? What is their physiological state? What is their spiritual state? And looking at their entirety of their existence, which really to me is communicating that there's a cause, something that we've thought, said, done, acted upon, or that was acted upon towards us that has caused this effect in our life, whatever the imbalance is, right? And so Ayurveda really helps us to look at the source of the imbalance or of the dis-ease that we're experiencing in our existence. And instead of just looking at it and maybe misunderstanding it and looking at the unpleasant symptoms that it's causing and just suppressing those symptoms, it looks below those symptoms and it looks at this is what your life looks like, this is how you're living, this is how you're thinking, this is how you're breathing, this is how you're eating, etc. And through the imbalance and through that observation, which is a very in-depth process depending on how deep we want to go, we can actually trace our steps back to the cause itself, which becomes evident, more self-evident the more we become competent and equipped with the science. And then we can actually work on eliminating that root cause so that we don't just suppress the symptoms and then the disease pops up in some other way or in some other organ or system. And actually a good Ayurvedic physician or coach will emphasize empowering the client or the patient to become an active participant in their own healing, right? An active participant in their own experience and existence in life, which is absolutely amazing, right? Because then the problem is not just outside of myself. The problem becomes the liberation, right? Because now I see how I'm connected to that problem and what the natural solution is by equipping myself with knowledge. Because as long as the problem remains separate from me and I have nothing to do with it, then there's no way for me to actually relate with it and undo it and actually work my way towards vibrancy and good health again. And what's very beautiful is that Ayurveda describes that each one of us has a completely unique physiological nature, psychological nature, and spiritual nature. And by understanding that, it allows us to see, oh, this is what you look like when you're in a completely balanced state, when you're in a completely vibrant state, and this is what it looks like when you're in an imbalanced state. And these are the things that you're going to tend to have imbalances towards. So then Ayurveda helps us create a roadmap for vibrancy every single day, things that are going to equip us with amazing technologies for transformation, for great energy, for great sleep, etc. And Ayurveda, unfortunately, has largely been suppressed in the West and all over the world since the invasion of the British into India. A lot of the Ayurvedic knowledge has been destroyed. A lot of the family traditions that went back 10 generations, 100 generations, 1,000 generations were discontinued. And much of that knowledge was handed down step by step from qualified teacher to qualified student, and then as they gained experience, they would become the qualified teacher. But a lot of those traditions were stopped, and as Ayurveda has made its way to the West, a lot of it has become westernized, made into big lists for memorization and regurgitation, like the education that we tend to do in the West. So my goal and the goal of those I work with is to create competency so that you can look around and feel confident in life that, oh, I know what the qualities of this plant are. I know what the qualities of my body and my mind are, and how to equip myself using this knowledge so that I can create a roadmap and reach back towards my own vibrant and unique state of consciousness and health. So this allows us to actually begin to respond to life instead of just react to life. And really that is the beauty and purpose of Ayurveda.